Hello, everyone. I believe we are live. We are just going to jump right in. This is a best of 5 series. One second. I'm getting a bit of feedback. Thank you, Wu. I'm so glad you could stay up to join us on this live stream. As I said, best of 5. I hope you can stay awake. But yeah, I know it's probably, like 3 in the morning? Let's take a look. We've got Hera in blue teaming up with the Viper in his traditional yellow. The Viper here, take a look at the bottom right. When you play a multiplayer game or a team game, the layout looks a little bit different. I'm going to leave the resources here in the bottom right. You can see here Hera playing the Franks, the Viper playing the Chinese, and they are taking on Vivi playing as the Goths, and Mr. Yo playing as the Franks. Now, I'm not going to get into the entire roster and the bonuses and features of each civilization, but before each game, what I'll do is I'll list the team bonuses, and then we'll see if we can glean any kind of advantages, disadvantages, any kind of strategies or anything that we can from these players. And if I miss anything, let me know in the comments. If you agree, disagree, always up for a lively debate. So let's take a look. The Franks, their team bonus. Knights come with extra line of sight. So not a terrible team bonus. Will benefit his partner, who is playing the Chinese. And their team bonus is whenever you seed a farm, it immediately adds 10% of the value of that farm to the total of food available in that farm. And remember, the beautiful thing about this team bonus is that it applies after upgrades. So it's not like the Mongol 30% extra HP, for example, on their light cav, which is always fixed at 18 because it applies to the 60 HP underneath. This one applies after upgrades. The Franks, for our green player, the exact same. Knights coming with 2 extra line of sight. And the Goths here in red, their team bonus is that their barracks work 20% faster. So on the whole, I would give a slight advantage here to the Viper and Hera in terms of team bonuses, but let's just get the game started. Let's watch them play. Chinese is always starting with 3 extra villagers, but a lot less food. Take a look. They all have 0 food because they're all clicking villagers, but he's not producing any villagers, already has no food. Just the nature of the Chinese. Let's take a look at their bases. I'm going to zoom out, guys. Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen, but let's take a look at our field of battle. The left side, under complete control of Hera and the Viper. The right side, under complete control of Mr. Yo and Vivi. I couldn't come up with team names for these guys, so I just put their names up there. So essentially, the map is split down the middle, diagonally through the middle. And let's take a look at what the players are doing. Actually, I'm going to zoom back out. Let's take a look at avenues of attack. Very straight lines of attack here for both players. The Viper's gold, very exposed in the front here. Hera's gold, nice and secure towards the center back of his map. Mr. Yo, very front-facing gold. Hera might make an issue of that. And Vivi with the safest gold of all, this infinity sign pack of 7 patches in the back. Okay, already we're starting with the shenanigans. Vivi moving forward with 1 villager protected by his scout cavalry. And let's take a look. He's building, I'm assuming, a lumber camp back home. That's right. And we'll see what our Goth player decides to do. Viper, though, immediately sees this villager, immediately cancels the house, and immediately goes onto attack mode. I mean, that's what you have to do here. And shoos away the villager. Although now there's a scout cavalry back up here. Where is the Viper scout cavalry? I think I see him creeping from the left. And now we've got our first slicing and dicing of the attack. The Viper wants to make sure his opponent does not teeth a boar. And takes it immediately, even though he is, I guess, on the back of 11 villagers, but did just take a fresh boar here. So Not the most efficient board take, but he had absolutely no choice. Vivi would have definitely stolen that boar if he could. Not leaving with this villager. Continuing to build and destroy houses is Vivi. What is Mr. Yo doing? Continuing to herd his deer. What is Hera doing? Exploring the map with his scout. Okay, so remember in the latest patch, I believe it was the latest patch, they upgraded it so that you no longer have to invest any resources in getting team line of sight. It automatically happens in team games. Huge map, by the way. I forgot to mention, this is a big map. And so we're either going to be in for an incredibly long game, which I'm hoping we are. Of course, who doesn't want to see these 4 players play for as long as possible? But it also might mean we might see a super short game if they just don't want to play on such a huge map. For now, though, Vivi continuing to wander aimlessly around with his villager, the Viper, searching for him. We'll see if he can find him. Runs into a tiger. Hera also now moving forward. What has Mr. Yo seen of his opponent? Mr. Yo has seen nothing. He is basically strudling around his base in a concentric circle. Hera moving in. Vivi, of course, has seen the Viper's base. We know that. Or I guess he hasn't. He hasn't seen any structures of his opponent. Just building a bunch of houses throughout. He does not want to get surprised. I like the idea of having scouting houses. Very cheap alternative to an outpost, which costs a tiny bit of stone, but does take away from your ability to plop down 2 town centers when you hit castle, unless you invest villagers into the stone mining. And let's take a look at what the players decide to do here. For now, Hera circling, looking for avenues. Vivi so far, I think, in my opinion, the best play so far with these houses. And guys, this might be a long stream. We might be taking breaks. We might not be. I don't know how it's going to go. This is the first time I'm streaming a 5-game series. And woo, if you fall asleep, feel free tomorrow when you wake up, come back and watch the rest of the game. For now, though, players continuing to expand. Hera exploring as much as he can of his opponent's base. What is the Viper seen here? Okay, so he's going back home. He's seen just the tip of Vivi's base. And now Hera first to reach Feudal Age. Remember, the Franks get the mill upgrades for free, so once he finishes with these berries, or maybe even before, we'll see some farms being plopped down. And let's take a look at populations. 18 and 21 for Team Blue and Yellow. 22 and 18, although it's flashing red, is Vivi's, which means he is supply blocked. Despite having plopped down a bunch of houses all over the map, he is supply blocked, although now he is no longer. Continuing to circle his opponent's base, both Hera and Mr. Yo trying to get vision of each other's bases. We'll see what they can see. And now everyone but Vivi is up to Feudal. And Vivi in 26 seconds will join the rest of the group. Okay. Farms for our Goth. Let's see what Vivi is planning on building, although we know with Goths generally what you want to build. Oh god, this is a lot of villagers with a little bit of protection here. Kevin Costner bodyguard style. Oh, he's moving forward with a tower. And let's see what the Viper does. Oh no, deletes the tower. How many structures has Vivi built and then canceled? Yeah, his stone is starting to droop. He's got 2 villagers on stone. But now his men-at-arms are going to contest. Oh, the Viper tries to Viper gate him in, but with 4 men-at-arms, I don't know that necessarily could have been successful. And Mr. Yo has also brought his scout cavalry forward. What is Hera doing? He has to desperately either help his opponent or distract his enemy's partner here. He is moving forward with a bunch of scout cavalry. No upgrades for them just yet. Vivi making himself nice and at home in front of Viper's base. The Viper, though, smartly walling off a little bit outside off campus so that this tower has to stay here. If he had walled over here, that tower would be here. and it would just jeopardize his entire villager production. So brilliant move here by Viper, and Hera now side attacking the person who is attacking his own opponent, his own partner rather, manages to get a villager. We'll take a look at the kill count at the end of the game, but for now, Hera being as annoying as Vivi, but green dots streaming across the map. Mr. Yo says, you know what, I see you're attacking my partner with scout cavalry. That's not a bad idea. I'm going to do the exact same. He builds 3 scout cavalry. He moves out. He's got 2 spearmen, I think, probably back at home, if I had to guess. Yeah, monitoring the perimeter of his base. He is walling off. I like this adorable little enclosure here by Mr. Yo. Easy to protect, easy to defend, but now Vivi tilting south with a huge amount of army here. 4 men-at-arms, 4 scout cavalry, flashes to his partner. Big red X on the map here says this gold is being taken. Keep an eye on that. But Hera, with 1 spearman, sees everything. Beautiful map presence here by Hera. And now Vivi is coming forward with a watchtower that's going to be very annoying for a few of these farmers. And what is Hera doing to respond? He's out on the map. He doesn't know if he's coming or going here. He's bringing back part of his army. Is this a lure of a tiger, or is this just bad pathing? We'll keep an eye out for that. The tower should go up. Another red X going down on the map. Wants to make sure that everyone is aware that the Viper is taking this gold. And where is the Viper's army? What is he building? He's got 4 archers and 2 spearmen. Half of that army is moving south. Hera loses a house. This is a huge feudal age army here. We've got 16 military supply for Team Yo and Vivi to the 14 of Team Hera and Viper. Neither player, neither player, all 4 players not really banking any resources at the moment. Another tower going down. 1 villager's just hanging out while the rest of them do all the work. And why is he flashing here? Okay. We don't have, I haven't enabled the chats between the teams, so we don't know exactly why they're pinging all over the map. But the question is, what is the Viper going to do here to support his teammate? He's got 5 archers and 2 spearmen in production. By the time they get down here, there's going to be a bunch of towers that they're not going to be able to handle. And let's take a look here. Hera busting out of his base through archer town fire, but straight into a bunch of green scout cavalry. His scout cavalry weak as shit, already down 100 HP. But his opponent down even more. And now I see a yellow blob moving across the map. The Viper trying to distract Vivi, who is busy building. I wonder why he pivoted from the Viper south to Hera. Another ping going down for our red Goth player. They are in constant communication. Love this secondary wall off by Hera with the houses. But now take a look at this town center. It is in the center, in the maelstrom of 3 frickin' towers, or rather 2. This one doesn't reach, but take a look at all of the red zones here. And now the Viper, let's see what he can do with 2 feudal age archers. Any upgrades on these guys? Oh yeah, +1 attack, +1 range. Beautiful upgrade. Okay. Slowly tickling away at that house. He still has to deal with this tower if he wants to get the gold. Although he does manage to secure his secondary gold pile. Anyway, let's take a look back at Hera's base. He is moving forward with villagers, attacking both towers at once. Should get rid of them, I think. I mean, 1 green Frankish spearman is not going to stop this many, especially now that he's brought in his own. Never mind, his spearman nowhere to be found, rather. Yeah, this tower, I mean, it should go down, right? Hera coming back with a huge chunk of his army. Viper continuing to stream his archers across the map. Oh, 35, yeah, the tower's donezo. But how many villagers did Hera have to pull off the line to deal with these towers? That being said, Vivi himself has pulled a bunch of villagers as well. And let's see who takes this fight. Looks like Team Viper and Hera easily take this fight. Lots of death and destruction on both sides, though. Now Viper being annoying. Oh, he's going to be He's going to get a bunch of villagers here. This tower, I was going to say it was about to complete, but no, it decides to abandon it. Does Vivi, second town center for Mr. Yo, who is first to reach castle. Beautiful placement next to the stone, next to the wood. Still a bit of a annoyance here to the north of Hera's base. But Hera has managed to completely stall all the aggression to his base. The Viper as well. Although, like I said, still does need to deal with this one tower. You could literally send one melee unit to stand right here and get rid of that tower. Vivi is nowhere close to being able to repair it. I believe this is a house, this red dot. Yeah. And now the fight is being taken to the east. Blue and yellow units streaming right. But they're streaming right by Vivi's base. Okay, Hera about 2 minutes away from being in castle. Viper reaching up, upgrading his archers to crossbows. These are going to be very annoying. Also plopping down a second town center. Love this location too. Gets the gold, gets the wood. Lots of room for farms. Okay, I saw an attack animation, but no, it was just Tony the Tiger here. Okay, Tony had the high ground, but against the knight, not much he can do. And now let's look at the action has swung to Vivi's base, where Mr. Yo is supporting his partner with 2 knights and getting upgrades for those knights as well. They're going to be at a +1/+2. Impressive play here by Mr. Yo. His base has been completely left unattacked by Viper or Hera, and so he is free to just boom at the moment and just continue to send these Frankish knights. No bloodlines for them, but with the 20 extra HP, doesn't matter. They have the same HP as a knight with bloodlines. So Frankish knights in the early stages of castle, not that much different than regular knights with bloodlines. Oh man, this house continuing to be shelled at, and now everyone but Vivi is in castle. And let's take a look at Vivi's resources. Oh, he's about 100 food short. So it's going to be a while. Oh, sorry about that, guys. It's going to be a while before he can reach castle and help his opponent. But Mr. Yo knew that Hera was going south, immediately shoots a bunch of arrows. Oh, horrible catch here for the Viper. Should lose a bunch of these crossbows. Let's take a look at his kiting. Inserts himself into a choke point. Brilliant here by the Viper. Mr. Yo saying, I do not want to engage into this. I don't want to micro a bunch of knights all the way around this lake to attack you from 2 angles. Instead, I'm just going to swing north. And this is what I was talking about. Just send 2 melee units, even villagers. Although, villagers will, of course, die. That is what they do. And now Hera being aggressive here, attacking Mr. Yo's rear and streaming units. But what is he streaming? His own Frankish knights, and they will bust down this palisade gate very quickly. Vivi yet again signaling to his partner to look at the Viper's base here so that he sees the crossbows. Amazing communication between these two. Gate goes down, but house is built right behind it. These should be enough to stop any kind of aggression here by Hera, who is continuing to stream knights across the map. 50 seconds from Castle Age is Vivi finally. Oh, hi, your mom. Nice to get you live. I appreciate that, and I'm glad you could join us live. So far, a very fun game. I'm hoping all 5 are like this. Lots of attacks, lots of backstab, lots of use of static defense / offense, lots of basically lots of action. So I hope I can catch it all. This is live, so there's no picture-in-picture. But yeah, we'll do our best to catch it all live. This is incredible. Now Hera did Mr. Yo over boom. He is sitting on 50 knights, but Hera has 17. I hear a monk, and I believe that monk is Hera's, who pays the price with his life. Now Vivi, the one being left alone, even though he's the one who reached castle last, he is sending a bunch of slow-moving pike. Oh, God. Beautiful castle placement here by Vivi. This will definitely cut off any reinforcements that the Viper tries to send, especially ranged units. Although he might just be able to go around it. We'll see what actual effect that castle has. But now Mr. Yo under tremendous pressure here. Pike moving in. They'll enter his base. But with these crossbows tucked away into this nook and cranny here between the lumber mill and the house, what can pikemen really do? Hera overwhelming his opponent, literally double the knight count, 24-12. And let's see if these red pikemen do anything to help. For now, the town center garrison to the max. But this is not a Teutonic town center with 10 extra villagers and 5 extra arrows. This is just a basic Frankish town center. And oh god, Team Viper and Hera have just set up shop, but this castle is up. Viper immediately sees it, streaming 1 unit across. This castle desperately needs some upgrades. Oh, Huskarls are out. Okay, I thought that was a zoning castle, but little did I know that Vivi is building 4 Huskarls at a time. The real question is, how the hell do you stop this? How do you engage into 25 crossbows and 21 knights? What are the upgrades on them? Not the best. I think Mr. Yo ahead in upgrades, 1 defensive upgrade. I guess the answer is you don't engage into them. You build a castle to zone them out. Fantastic. Another town center for Viper, another town center for Hera. And now finally we have our first blue ping. Hera wants to make sure the Viper knows there's a castle here. Snipe the villagers. Snipe them as soon as you can, as fast as you can. But the second this castle hits 80% completion, run the hell away. And yeah, they have to disengage here. I mean, they could have continued. They would have gotten more and more of their opponent's units, but they would have lost a lot of their own units. Oh, a monk very slowly waddling his way out does lose. And now Hera pinging over here. He has sent some knights to deal with these Huskarls. Brilliant move here. You love to see the teamwork. And now Hera's pinging the back of Vivi's vase. I wonder if that means they're going to... Oh. Hera and the Viper are victorious. Okay, so 32 minutes into the game. Seems the Viper and Hera would lead to a one-sided match, but if you have Vivi... Oh yeah, Joshi, exactly. That's why I was I was a little concerned when I saw that Mem had already cast this, because I was so excited. Like you're saying, when you have Hera teaming up with the Viper, you really do expect it to be one-sided. But when you're playing Vivi and Yo, I mean, oh god, they're very powerful units, very powerful players, also incredibly aggressive. And so, wow, okay, I wonder, let's take a look at why they quit. Is it possible that they saw Hera's knights, realized that these Huskarls are going to be completely useless? I mean, this is a good little support here for these 2 knights. These guys will tickle away at the HP of the Huskarls, but 7 pierce armor on these guys. Mr. Yo, did he overboom? Did he take on a pacifist strategy a little bit too much? I wonder. Hera continuing to boom here as well, but only 2 town centers for him, 1 town center for Vivi. And take a look at their opponents. 4 town centers going down for the Viper, 1, 2, 3 for Hera. This castle was a good idea. I wonder if he should have placed it a bit closer to the front. You know, to make sure the Viper just was contained in his base. And if he should have just stuck within the perimeter of this castle. Otherwise, these Huskarls are just going to die. I mean, 1 melee armor against a knight that has an 11 attack. So every swipe of this sword does 10 damage. 6 swipes, and they're done. And oh god, I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say the Mr. Yo knew that Hera and Viper disengaged. And so the only other logical choice for this army is either to come back in force, in which case he has nothing to defend on the north side. How's his stone looking? 188 stone is 300 short of a castle. So he knew he couldn't defend to the north here. Or even worse, if they were going to do what they're doing, which is swinging around completely to attack Vivi. In any event, Hera and the Viper take the first game. I am going to update. I think that's... Yeah, 1-0 here. Hera and the Viper victorious. And let's just jump right into the second game and see what we're working with here. Joshi, I removed all the chat from the players because in team games, there's, in my experience at least, there's a lot of back and forth between the players, and I didn't want the left side of the screen to just be an endless spam of messages. And I think it's just funner, in my opinion, to just watch them play and see where they're pinging. But I'm 100% sure they GG'd with each other. These are very classy players. They've been around a while. I'm sure they did. Vivi isn't a Messi team players before. Okay, that's interesting, Woo. Okay, so we've game 1 going to Hera and the Viper. Now we move into game 2. Let's take a look at the civs. On the right side, again, we have Mr. Yo in green playing as the Magyars. His partner this time to the northwest, Vivi, playing the Ethiopians. So now the map is split horizontally instead of vertically. Viper playing as the Britons. Let's see how he handles that. It's a very fun civilization in the hands of a very good player. And I think I'm not really going out on a limb here by calling the Viper a very good player. His partner, Hera, the Khmer, oh god, also an incredibly powerful civilization. Let's take a look at their team bonuses, see if we can glean anything. The Magyars, sorry, just bear with me. The Magyars, their foot archers get extra line of sight except for skirmishers. And the Ethiopians, their towers, their outposts get extra line of sight. So Team Yo, Team Vivi are going to have map vision, assuming somebody goes foot archers, which if your partner is the Ethiopians, with the fastest firing foot archers in the game. And by the way, I'm getting better at saying that. The first couple of videos where I did Ethiopians and I kept trying to say fastest firing foot archers in the game, I tongue-tied myself a lot. But that is a very useful bonus for the Ethiopians. So they'll build a bunch of archers, hopefully, and those archers will have extra line of sight. Hera and the Viper here, as the Khmer Scorpions, have an extra 1 range. And as the Briton, archery ranges work 20% faster, which, I mean, the Khmer have a pretty decent archery line. I mean, they're missing thumb ring. But aside from that, it's a very good archery range, in my opinion. And the roster that they have of ranged units, so we'll see if they use that advantage of the quicker archery range work. In any event, let's get the game started. Let's let the players speak for themselves. Like I said, the teams this time, I'm going to zoom out again. Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen. This is our battlefield. We are on Arabia. Lots of hills. I bet somebody wishes they would spawn the Tatars. I don't know if they randomly picked their civs or if the civs were not randomly picked their civs. Sorry, that's an oxymoron. If they randomly auto-generated civs or if they picked them. But in any event, I feel like this map is just as big as the one we just saw. Rush distance seems to be a little shorter here on the left side and on the right side as well. I mean, there's this Grand Canyon path over here that will benefit any player who puts units on the high ground. And yeah, let's see what the players do. For now, both sitting at their same villager count, same scout count, and we'll see what they decide to explore. Let's take a look at their resources, where they are, if that's any indication. Vivi again in red. Primary gold off to the side. Primary stone completely exposed to the front here. Ouch. That's going to be hard for him. You need, as an Ethiopian, you want to build those castles. You want to get those Shotel warriors, upgrade them to build in literally 4 seconds. I think it's either the fastest or second fastest building unit in the game. Mr. Yo again in green. Gold very close to his base. I like that. And stone exposed, but kind of close. I mean, Vivi's is a little bit further away. This is what, like 10 tiles or so? This one's a little bit closer, probably 6 or 7 if I had to guess. The Viper, primary gold very close to his base. Primary stone very safe and secure in the back. Hera, primary gold, amazing location here, nice and tucked away into a corner. Where's his primary stone? In the back. Oh god, yeah, so advantage here, I would say, to Team Hera and Viper in terms of where their resources are. But we'll see. Will Vivi try to pull the same tactic, the same move as he did before? And let's see. Okay, Lumberjacks going down for our green Magyar. I really, one of the things, I read a Reddit debate recently for the Magyars, and people were really debating the one strike villager killing of dangerous animals for the Magyars. And people were saying it's these wild animals, oh, it's such a useless bonus, it doesn't really matter. I think it's one of the best Dark Age bonuses in the game. Imagine if you're playing, for example, a player like Huang with his Celt Rush, or you're playing Mr. Yo, who's very aggressive, and you want to put out a bunch of spotting houses, a bunch of outposts on the map. Instead of sending multiple villagers, because you know a villager with loom will kill a wild animal, but the second one will kill the villager if he runs into a second one. So being able to strike these with one blow is a huge advantage. You just need to send one villager out on the map, and that one villager can literally kill each and every one of these wild animals with just one fell swoop of their swashbuckling swords. And let's take a look. Sometimes on Arabia, it's hard to see the yellow color, but I do see the yellow dot here. The Viper is exploring the periphery of his opponent's base. He's seen the entirety of his opponent's base. Hera starting to scout his opponent. What has Vivi seen of his? Vivi has zero map vision. This is the extent of Vivi's vision at the moment. Yet again, deciding to strudel around his base in an arc, in a circle. Mr. Yo doing the same thing. Definitely an interesting play style to just continue exploring the immediate vicinity of your own base, as opposed to striking out onto the map and trying to find your opponent. I mean, take a look at Team Hera and Viper. They know exactly where their opponents are, and they know the exact outline of the base. So they see where the gold is. They see that there's a mountain up here, and so they might decide to make an issue of it. For now, though, the Viper out on the map, but no military for anybody. Everyone is going up to castle, including, I was going to say, except the Viper, but the second I started that sentence, he clicked, not castle, rather feudal. The second I started that sentence, he went up to feudal, immediately putting 3 villagers on gold. Interesting. What is Hera doing? Okay, creating a funnel. Not the easiest map to wall yourself off with. Take a look at how open it is. So not a bad idea to try to funnel your opponent's units, especially if you think you're going to see some feudal aggression. Oh, it sees the barracks. Beautiful scout here by Hera. I mean, this is why you need to scout, right? You see what the hell your opponent is going to throw at you. Although a barracks is not necessarily indicative of anything in the early stages of the game. It might be for units. Oh, man, Viper's reaction time always is just so incredibly fast. But yeah, the barracks might be for units, or it might just be a prerequisite structure here in order to be able to build whatever you actually do want, a stable and archery range. Yeah, the Ethiopians, like I said, definitely have archers. Viper walling himself off here. Wants to wants to make sure he's protected against any kind of aggression. Anytime your wood line is this far away from your town center, it's not a bad idea to wall yourself off. And now Hera, along the same vein as last game, sending out a bunch of scout cavalry units. And we'll see what he decides to do here with this. He's deciding to attack Yo. So in today's round 2 game, it seems like Mr. Yo is about to take on the brunt of Team Hera and Team Viper. Oh yeah, woo. Exactly, right? I mean, it's the absolute worst thing in the world when you're playing, especially a map like Black Forest. You say, oh god, how did he get into here? Mr. Yo out vipering the Viper. But yeah, it's the worst thing in the world. You're playing Black Forest. You want to wall off to make sure your opponent doesn't sneak into your base. And then all of a sudden, a wild animal comes out of nowhere. Either you didn't hit loom, or you forgot to hit loom, or you did hit loom, and there's a second wild animal, and all of a sudden your villager's dead. You have to send another one to walk all the way to the choke point to wall that off again. Ugh, it's so annoying. But yeah, the Magyar bonus, that's what I'm saying. There was a huge debate on Reddit, and I'm reading it and thinking, what the hell is the debate here? It's such a useful Dark Age bonus. I mean, it's not like resource related. It's not like the Aztec bonus where they carry extra resources. It's not the new Portuguese bonus where The berry pickers generate wood, but it is a very powerful bonus, especially on an open map like Arabia, where you're sending your villagers to basically do reconnaissance and to make sure if you're playing an aggressive player, what are these guys doing here? Where did you come from? Did Hera teeth 2 goats? Oh, they're so cute. Look at them with their little bell and their Instagrammable blue bandanas. But yeah, if you want to build a bunch of spotting houses or outposts out on the map, ain't none finer than the Magyars. Hera taking a bunch of damage on these guys. And now the Viper pinging him saying, hey, buddy, come home. There's a bit of an archer force here trying to make an issue here. Mr. Yo again creating a little tiny enclave for himself. And we'll see how that works out. Didn't really work out well for him in the first game, but there's a lot of scout cavalry. But there's a lot of archers from our Ethiopian. And remember, look at the extra line of sight that they have. Take a look at how far they see because of that team bonus from the Magyars. And now, finally, Mr. Yo decides to enter stage right and support his partner here. And will shoo away all aggression. So we're in the middle of the map. We've got 2 goats hanging out next to a vulture, a condor, a vulture. We'll leave the Gaia alone for now. Let's take a look at what the players are building. No one going up to castle. No one even close to going up to castle. If you take a look at the resources at the bottom right, what is Hera doing? He's continuing to build his farms. He's got the requisite structures to go up to the next age, and just not the resources. And now Mr. Yo pinging this empty, desolate piece of land. I wonder why. And my wondering... Yeah, Vivi's army is no joke. That's a lot of archers. I mean, their HP is horrible. He's sitting at about half HP. There's still blue streaming towards the back of his base. But now that he's dealt with that, he's free to send even more archers. And that's why I said the Magyar bonus here of the extra line of sight. If you partner up with an Ethiopian... civilization, yeah, I mean, again, take a look at that vision. This vision is from the archers. This is not from the scout cavalry. Take a look at how far they see. That's a huge advantage. You see your opponent's army, you see your opponent's static defense, and you can just maneuver around them. Okay, random pike being sent to his partner's base. I guess he's expecting some kind of backstab, although the Viper very slowly sending an army of his own. This is also not a joke army. We've got 14 archers, 3 spearmen. Although he's got to contend with some of these scout cavalry from Mr. Yo, who tries to cut off reinforcements, but instead gets Viper walled in. So they are going to do damage, but they are going to die. And now we've got the Battle of the 4 Kings here shaping up. No, never mind. Red and green decide to disengage. I mean, Hera can chase this. But, I mean, remember the HP. Oh, no, the HP on these is actually pretty good. Almost full HP. If only he could knew that his opponent, oh, he has a game sense. He's swinging south. Oh, he's going to catch these archers with the high ground. But Mr. Yo circling. I love watching the vision of the players just to see when they notice certain things. Because when we watch these games with a caster's God's eye view, I mean, it's easy for us to comment. Easy for us to say, go left, go right, blah, blah, blah. Massive engage here in the middle of the map. Handily taken by Team Hera and Team Viper. And now Vivi's entire army here has been knocked down to 3, but he's got fresh forces. 19, 20 archers still left. And now he's approaching the Viper's base, but little does he know, the Viper's got a defensive force of his own. Gets an archer, does Vivi. And now Mr. Yo sending some reinforcements as well. That's going to be very helpful. Hera nowhere close to being able to help out here. So this is a 2-on-1 at the moment. Although don't run your... he runs him straight into Spearman. Takes a few pokes and prods. Oh, this is going to be terrible here for the Viper. Completely ignoring the Viper's army. Vivi and Yo just decimating villager counts. But now finally Hera shows up with some reinforcements, full health reinforcements too. And yet again, Vivi and Mr. Yo get decimated here. Army count though, they are continuing to build 8 scout cavalry for Mr. Yo, 15 archers for our red Ethiopian, but now he's got to contend with Hera's scout cav, and more importantly, he's got to contend with Hera's micro. Oh god, you never want to be on the receiving end of that, do you? Although this one spearman who was sent here, what, like 10 years ago, finally finding purpose in life. And Vivi, this game, will be the first to castle in 30 seconds. The Viper pinging his partner here. Oh, don't engage into this choke point. Look at this narrow alleyway. I mean, wow. Did you even see that there's a gap between these buildings? I sure didn't. And now what do we have here? We have one yellow spearman who might actually turn the tide. Does manage to get a bunch of kills on these green scout cav. And now it's Mr. Yo who is attacking his opponent without any kind of reinforcements. And this is why you have Hera circling to the north, Hera circling to the south. You've got these two billy goats of death still hanging out here. God, this is going to be the game-deciding hurtables here. I'm just kidding, of course. In case you haven't noticed my sense of humor yet. Quickly, Viper walls himself in, but is there a path here? Looks like there is a path for this one crossbow. Did Hera notice? Doesn't matter if he did Piker out. Remember, Ethiopians get the pike upgrade for free, so the second he hits castle, those guys are becoming pikemen, and the scout cavalry from Hera, who's still almost 2 minutes away from castle, have to completely run away. There is nothing they can do against those pikemen. They will just die immediately. And let's, oh, sorry guys, I lost control of the map for a quick second, but now we have another fight shaping up. That's a lot of scout cavalry, but that's a lot of crossbows here. And now, who's first? The Viper is first to reach castle. Ugh, and for a third time, the archers of Vivi get decimated, although now their pikemen compatriots have something to say about it. They'll get a bunch of scout cavalry. That was definitely a better trade, I think, for Hera, but not a free trade. That was an incredibly costly trade. The HP on these guys is down about 20%. And now Mr. Yo streaming his own scout cavalry across the map. He needs to get to castle. He's still 2 minutes away from castle. In this game, he's the last one to reach castle. And now we've got a bunch of scout cavalry. Let's take a look at their upgrades. Hera with a +1/+1. Mr. Yo with a similar +1/+1. These are equal. These are not Mongol scout cavalries with their extra HP. Or rather, Mongol light cavalry eventually, I hope, with an upgrade. And now the Viper making an issue in the southern portion of Mr. Yo's base. Hera pinging the center of the map. I don't know. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I guess he's trying to show the Viper, hey, you've got cavalry hot on your tail. Abscond immediately. Run away. You do not want to get stuck here when these scout cavalry show up. I mean, again, ranged units are fantastic at what they do. But against hard-hitting melee units, they do not stand a chance. The Viper, second town center. He's now going up to 32 crossbows, the Viper. So playing the Britons like a fiddle, playing to their strength. I don't know what Blue wants to accomplish here. He wants to go into the base, I guess. Okay, I'm not sure this is the right move. These are still scout cavalry. These are not... I mean, I guess with the crossbow backup... But you know your opponent's going to swing around. This might be a problem here for Hera. He might lose a bunch of these units. Am I seeing red? Oh god, this is the reinforcements that Vivi is sending. They are slowly making their way across the map. 16 Ethiopian crossbows that fire 18% faster than normal. Hera pinging the top here. I guess he saw these villagers exiting the base. He wants to make sure that his opponent his teammate knows about it. Is this a gap? No, it is not. And what is Mr. Yo going to do with these villagers? We'll take a look. Oh, manages to get one goat. And Mr. Yo again, just like the first game, being punished for enclosing himself off a little bit too much. But now, oh lord, it kind of seems like the Viper and Hera are trapped here. These scout cavalry, take a look at their HP. They're at a third of their HP. These are going to die incredibly fast. Behind this, though, behind this, while we were looking at damaged scout cavalry, Hera puts the pedal to the metal and produces 19 frickin' knights, 2300 HP of Frankish killing machines, distracting their opponent here. Now I know what they're doing. They're distracting Yo, they're distracting Vivi so that they can sneak up the left side here with all these knights. Vivi does see it with 2 pikemen, but 2 pikemen are going to do exactly jack shite against this many knights, who now killed whatever this was over here. These looks like crossbows falling on the ground here. And what the hell can Vivi do here? Oh god, no. Run away with your crossbows. Okay, Viper has lost his entire army, reset to a meager 29 crossbows, which are making their way to Vivi's base. He is pinging both of them, Hera and the Viper, pinging the left side of Vivi's base. This is, I guess, where they're going to decide to make an issue. Yeah, exactly, Wu. I didn't realize it at first, but that's exactly what Hera and the Viper were doing in Mr. Yo's base. They was a complete stall, a complete distraction move, so that these knights could get here. But remember, take a look at their upgrades. Okay, +2/+2 is not bad. And we'll see what the Viper can do here with these crossbows. But now, finally, returning home, not only with crossbows, but with a cowardly lion and a bunch of villagers, is Vivi. The question is it too little too late? His base is under attack. I mean, he's got 1 town center. All of these crossbows are definitely going to help. Full health crossbows. But he's fighting against the crossbows of our Britain player. Take a look at the range. 5/2 does not beat 5/3. And let's take a look at attack upgrades. +2/+1 against +2/+1. So Viper here not only having the numbers 18 to... Oh, no, never mind. Numbers are identical. Oh, God. We've got a sandwich. We've got a sandwich here. Viper in trouble. Hera has to desperately make his way back up here. And he gets the high ground, does Mr. Yo. Oh, these crossbows are going to die. Oh, what a brilliant move here by Vivi and Mr. Yo. But it does require a sacrifice of their own. Yeah, Mr. Yo has to finish here. He is not sending any reinforcements and sends streaming his knights south. Hera continuing to be annoying, but again, these are early Castle Age knights. Take a look at how much damage they take from a town center. It won't kill them fast, but it will kill them. Oh, beautiful use of a choke point here by Red, but does have to disengage. We'll get another knight. We'll get this weak HP knight. Maybe not. Runs away to the safety of his town center. Hera should not engage into this at all. Okay, a 5th town center going down for our yellow Britain. A 3rd town center going down for Hera. 2 town centers for Vivi. 1 for Mr. Yo. He's still got units up here. Why are his units up here? Okay, Hera having, I guess, mission accomplished here in Red's base. Done as much as he could without losing his entire army. Now that Mr. Yo's reinforcements are here, decides to move eastward, but his own base now coming under attack. Not the best pathing in the world here, I don't think, by Mr. Yo. Right again into a town, almost fully garrisoned town center. Oh, though, he's going to catch a bunch of these villagers. No, decides instead to engage with the knights, but at the same time, Mr. Yo, yeah, is under attack yet again. 1 town center for him. How many villagers? He's got 62 villagers. In the lead is our Magyar in terms of civilian population. The question is, what the hell can he do? 4 knights are not going to stop this juggernaut of crossbows and knights. But this might. He's coming home with his cavalry force. Red also streaming supporting units. Team Vivi and Yo playing very reactive at the moment. I like that Mr. Yo tried to distract Hera here, and a few minutes ago just tried to distract the Viper here. But at the end of the day, these 2 players, Yo and Vivi, are essentially playing reactive at the moment. And is that a big surprise? Remember, what was it, 30 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, when I showed you their map vision? Mr. Yo and Vivi had 0 map vision. And that always is trouble in Age of Empires. This is just like real-life war. If you don't know where your opponents are, if you don't know how they're going to attack you, where they're going to attack you from, and most importantly, what they're going to attack you with, Huh? Viper pinging this gold pile, telling Hera, hey, when you have a moment, kill these units. Yeah, you are immediately on the back foot, immediately on the defensive. Do not engage here into choke points. Okay, they decide to take the fight. Team Hera, Team Viper. What are they firing at here? Villagers, no! Viper, turn around! Turn around! Support your partner! Hera taking a worse fight than he really should have. The Viper should have left these villagers for the faster knight units. Instead, he gives up this high ground. Although there's plenty of high ground here for him. Mr. Yo wisely chooses to run away. Do not engage into these choke points here. Finally, more town centers going down for Team Vivi and Yo. A third for Vivi. But we've got our first castle here. Is he producing longbows at all? No. He is going up to 44 crossbows. So we've got an Adam Smith specialization of labor here, where the Viper is producing only ranged units. And our blue Khmer, I was going to say knights, but no, we've got our first elephants out. Ah, you love to see these guys. 270 HP of stomping power. Khmer Boom is incredibly strong. We'll see if Hera has a chance to actually make use of it. For now, sitting on 86 villagers, Mr. Yo has been knocked down to 39 villagers from 62 where he was a few minutes ago. Another castle going down for Viper. Love the placement. King of the Hill castle here. But now, yet again, the battle swings to Vivi's base. He's being attacked on the west. And he's being attacked and harassed and harangued to the east. Although, again, these knights at this stage of the game, not the strongest against a almost fully garrisoned town center. So Hera will lose probably one of these, yeah. And yet again, we find ourselves with the players disengaged. Let's take a look at the resources. Let's see if anyone's even close to going Imperial. Yeah, the Viper. Is that any surprise that the Viper is the first to go to Imperial? I'm not surprised by that. He is now streaming units westward, either to help support his opponent's slower moving elephants. Have they seen the elephants? Yeah, they've seen the elephants. I'm assuming we're going to see some monks out of red. Yes, we are. Monks being produced one at a time. And let's see what he can do here. Yeah, that crossbow is not going to not going to do much against an elephant. Neither are these 8 knights. Let's take a look at their HP. Ugh, down 230 HP. Oh god, the monk moves forward. The monk dies. 2 monks in production now. Yeah, Mr. Yo just continuing to build knights, although he's finally getting his villager count to 40, a massive 44 to the 114 of Viper and the 110 of Hera. I mean, we're okay. Does manage to get a convert. Steals an elephant, not bad. But that might be a little too late here. 14 battle elephants, 17 now in total. Ugh, you'd love to hear that sound. Oh, what a fun game. I mean, take a look at the scores in the bottom right. They're about 1,000 points difference or 1,400 point difference between the teams. But for me, what's really telling here is villager count. I mean, Viper at 121, Hera at 118. Yeah, not surprised. Mr. Yo at 46 and his partner at 68. Yeah, I wonder if this is a Vivi and Yo thing where they're just not building town centers. I mean, take a look at the Khmer Boom like you were talking about. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4 town centers, a forward-facing castle. Viper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 town centers and 2 castles. Mr. Yo sitting on a massive 1 castle here. Okay, and Thumbring being researched 44 minutes into the game. So Hera and Viper take game 2. Very much GG. That was a lot of fun. But like I said, Vivi and Mr. Yo here suffering from the same issues they suffered in the first game, which is lack of map vision early on. That just puts them on the back foot. It just makes them play way too defensively. And when you're playing 2 players like Hera and the Viper, good luck playing defensive. I mean, obviously you can succeed, but you don't want to be on the receiving end of Viper's British crossbows, which in a minute I'm sure would have been longbows. He's got 550 gold. So very close in terms of the resources to upgrade these guys to, not longbows, sorry, arbalests. And once these arbalests come out, then it's really GG when you mix them in with these Khmer elephants. Oh god, look at them. Okay, so game number 2 here going as well in favor of the yellow dot. I think that's right, yeah? Best of 5, 2. Let's see. Hi, Willie Mac Show. Glad you could join us. So that was game number 2. Now we go game number 3. And let's see how this one shapes out to be. In this one, I'll let the player... Okay, we're on arena. Interesting. Okay. Fantastic. So let's take a look at our civs here while the players build and expand. We've got Mr. Yo playing as the red poles. His partner in blue, Vivi, playing as the Gurjaras with their 2 extra bushes and their garrisonable herdables inside this mill. Opposing them, the Viper as the Portuguese with Hera playing as the Turks. Oh, God. Oh. Okay, this is going to be a fun one. Let's take a look at the team bonuses first. The Poles. Scout cavalry line +1 attack versus archers. That's not bad, actually, because remember, the Gurjaras do have the upgrade in the late stages of the game where they can reduce the food cost of their units. All of their units, by the way, not just some units, all units food cost down by 25%. And I believe Gurjaras get Hussars. So if this game goes into the late stages of the game and we've got archer units out of the Viper and Hera, they are going to be decimated by any kind of Gurjara Hussars that come with the +1 attack against archers. On his own, Gurjaras here, camel and elephant units are created 25% faster. Might be the most useless team bonus in the game because his partner is the Poles. And the Poles do not have elephants. The Poles do not have camels. Okay. The Viper in yellow as the Portuguese. All technologies are researched 25% faster. So not a terrible team bonus to have. And by any stretch of the imagination. Of course, it doesn't apply to going up in age. It's only to all the other technologies. But the Turks, this is where it gets fun. Gunpowder units are created 25% faster. That's their team bonus. So when you combine that with the Portuguese, who are essentially, a gunpowder naval civilization. And remember, all Portuguese units cost 20% less gold. And so faster producing gunpowder units mixed with cheaper gunpowder units. Oh, mama, this might be an interesting one. Let's see how far we get. Yeah, woo, they went full on pressure, gas pedal. Like I said, I'm surprised at how passive the scouting is out of our Mr. Yo and Vivi team here. I don't think you can give up that much map vision that early on in the game, especially when you're playing Hera and the Viper. In this matchup on Arena, might be a little different. Where are you going, little buddy? This Ibex. In a map like Arena that's enclosed off, I mean, you can kind of guess, right? Oh, what did I click there? I mean, you can kind of guess, but Hera being Hera has already scouted his opponent. So, Hera doing Hera things, let's say. Incredible amount of micro. Let's see what our team to the left... Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that. Vivi actually out on the map. But like I said, on Arena, you can kind of guess where your opponents are. They're not going to be to the south at the 6 o'clock or the 12 o'clock. You kind of know. But never hurts to see where their resources piled, because this is where you can apply the pressure. This is where you can really, pinch a nerve here for your opponent with their resources. Because on Arena, you always have extra resources outside the front of your base. And those resources are always contested in high elo games, low elo games as well. But especially with these players, always keep an eye on these resources. Make sure your opponent does not take them. Yeah, exactly, your mom. I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, whoa, mama, the faster gunpowder, the cheaper gunpowder, it's going to be fun to watch. We'll see how Mr. Yo and Vivi with the Poles and Gurjaras. I mean, keep in mind, Gurjaras are considered by some to be probably the best civ in the game in some respects. Poles, no slouches either with the Schlachter privileges. Remember, knights, incredibly cheap. I wouldn't call them trash units, but as close to trash as being as close to being a trash unit as possible. This Tiger just hanging out. And let's see what the players do. Is anyone even close to going up to feudal? Hera sitting on 600 food here. Continuing to gather food. But Mr. Yo, this game playing in red, is the first to click up to feudal. He is about a minute away. His opponents, again, Hera banking a lot of food. The Viper, not yet. Although Team Hera Viper outnumbering their opponent's villager count by a massive 10% at this game, not a small thing. And what is... okay. I think Mr. Yo and Vivi agree with you here that they just absolutely cannot let Hera and the Viper get to Imperial. And so we're seeing incredibly early aggression here on the map already. And now we've got the Camel Scout joining as well. He's getting there first. Mr. Yo plopping down a watchtower. We'll see what kind of aggression. Oh, yeah. First of all, folwarks are incredible. If you don't know, the Poles replace their mills with a structure called a folwark that has a radius. And when you plop down a farm on that radius, you automatically get either extra food added. Oh, sorry, I'm used to pointing to the top left, but I'm now going to point to the bottom right. You get an automatically extra food added to your pile. And the trample damage also. I mean, the Schlachta is, in my opinion, the craziest one with the cheaper Nightline units. Imagine if the Poles had Paladins. That would just be completely unfair. But yeah, let's see if we see a full work so I can highlight it. But anyway, if you have a farm with, for example, 275 or 250 food, let's say, it adds 25 to your bankroll every time you plop a farm within the full work perimeter. Mr. Yo here being incredibly aggressive. Okay. Trying to bust his way in, but you are trying to bust your way in against the Viper, who is the master of walling off. Although this early on, what can he really wall off with except for Palisades? He's 40 seconds away from feudal. What is Hera doing? Building a stable and a blacksmith in the back of his base. Farms going down for him. Look at his resources. 800 food, 200 gold. We know exactly what Hera wants to do the second he hit feudal. Any second now, those resources are going to disappear, and we're going to see a Roman numeral 3 at the top right of our screen. So Hera will be the first to reach Castle Age, but the action is all in front of the Viper's base here. Yeah, Step Cavalry, that's pretty funny, you Woo. They are incredibly cheap. I mean, Schlachta is just an insane bonus. I mean, 60% off gold. You're essentially, in terms of gold, building 2-for-1 knights if you have your food up and running. And let's see if he has his food up and running. Okay, so here's the full work. I'm going to click on it. Any farm seeded or reseeded within this radius. So take a look at his food count right now. It's 215. Look what happens when this farm finishes. 155, 95. Oh, I guess he's spending the 139 here. I guess he spent the resources, or maybe there's a lag. In any event, that's what the full work does. It's a super cool structure. I like that the when I was first starting to play this game in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was no, I don't think there was a unique economic structure like a Fatoria for the Portuguese or the full work. I love that they started adding those into the game. This game is so much more complicated and just beautiful and diverse than it was when I was playing this game as a youngin' decades and decades ago. And it's a very complex game, which is why I love it. Other RTS games, they're more fast-paced. They're much more action-packed. But in terms of just having 42 civ options and trying to pick the best based on your play style or just based on what your opponent is choosing, there's none finer than Age of Empires. And the developers just put so much effort into crafting these civilizations. Although sometimes you wonder if they went a little bit overboard with some of these civs, or I think a lot of people really don't like the Bengalis. They say they need to be taken out of the game. In any event, neither here nor there. Hera hitting Castle light years ahead of everyone except his partner, who's literally 30 seconds behind. Plops down 2 town centers. Or sorry, what the hell am I talking about? That is Vivi I'm looking at. Sorry. He also reached castle, plopping down 2 town centers. I had my mouse over Hera's base looking at Vivi's. Hera plopping down his 2nd town center. Great location. We'll get the stone. Lots of room for farms, lots of wood. But the action remains here in the front. But now that there's a oh, never mind. Builds a castle, cancels a castle. And now, yeah, smarter move to put the castle here. Now you have this tower in range, plus with a few more upgrades later on in the game, maybe you'll get that tower as well if you go down that route. But Vivi, rather Mr. Yo, just pivoting to the south. And that's the inherent weakness of static defense, right? I mean, it's an amazing tool to zone out your opponent, to create areas, DMZs, for example. But it's static. It does not move. And now what do we have streaming across the map? Gurjara mounted units. Oh, you love to see them. I love Shrivamsha riders. Incredibly fun to watch. Is anyone going... No, never mind. Okay. We've got our first organ gun coming out of our Portuguese. Remember, these are created 25% faster. And let's see what this volley of bullets can do. Going for the villager is the Viper. Notoriously bad accuracy on these guys. Look at their accuracy. I had it for a second, 50%. Although remember, they do fire 5 volleys, but only the first one does maximum damage. The other ones, I don't quote me. I want to say 3 damage. Let me know in the chat if I'm right or wrong. But I think they do 3, or I don't think they do 1. I think they do 3 damage. Shrivamsha and a camel have to back away. Oh, God. Okay, the Viper, though, is completely stabilized. 19 minutes into the game. Although this time around, the Viper and Hera are the ones down villagers, 79 to 84. Army supply also massively down, 4 to 13. Hera here making 0 attempt to help his opponent. Viper, though, able to handle this on his own for now. Although Shrivamsha riders inside his base may contest that. They are not the strongest units, but my God, are they fast. 1.6 before husbandry. And let's see what these red villagers will do here. Okay. Continuing to circle. Good scouting here, finally, by Team Vivi, Mr. Yo. I mean, the base Shrivamsha dodges 5 arrows, or 5 projectiles. But castles fire pretty fast, so you do not want to stay next to a castle. Okay, keeping an eye on Hera is a smart move here. You do not want your Turk to boom and then all of a sudden to show up with a bunch of Janissaries in the back of your base, in the back of your army, rather. Viper here going up to 6 organ guns. How many kills on these guys? Only 3. Okay, and Team Vivi, Team Yo, I guess they had a huddle session after last 2 games. What is it? Shrivamsha dodges the range shots. Exactly. I think the base Shrivamsha dodges 5 and the elite dodges 7. But I guess they had a powwow. They put their heads together and said, you know what, the last couple of games we've just been way too passive in the early stages of the game. Let's take the fight to these guys. And I mean, Hera sees that they're keeping an eye on him with these outposts. But what... Excuse me. Guys, I've never streamed this long, never talked this long, so I might have to drink some water. And now red pinging to the center of the map. I guess he wants to show that his villagers are heading south towards Hera, who has no military supply whatsoever. Okay. What is Hera building here in the back here? Undertaking a massive construction project. He's building a lot of population room here. But again, the Viper and Hera have taken a villager lead. But will it matter? Mr. Yo, with the incredibly aggressive castle placement here, not only secures himself the stone, which you best believe he's probably going to try to mine with these guys, but also denies Hera his secondary gold and jeopardizes not only some farms here to the north, but also the town center. I wonder, though, if it would have been better served to build a castle in the Viper's base. I mean, the Viper's the one with the army. Hera building a counter castle here. And let's keep an eye out on the left side of the map. Our red pole, Mr. Yo, first to click up to Imperial on the back of a massive 1 town center. Finally building a second. Is this the first time in 3 games that Mr. Yo has built a second town center? Balls to the walls castle, amazing. Yeah, exactly. I love this castle placement by him. Although we'll have to disengage. Oh no, I thought Hera had the +1 range upgrade. Never mind. He does not. But the Viper just unable. Where is his army? He is slowly tickling away at this infrastructure. Remember, never a bad idea to plop down structures near your opponent, because this is exactly the point. Look at how long he's distracting his opponent with these houses. I mean, this is not a lot of wood here. And he's just wasting so much time, but Shrevamshas are inside Green's base. And finally, Hera forced to build an army here. I don't think he wanted to, but he was forced to build an army by his opponent. Mr. Yo, 20 seconds away from Imperial. We'll see what he decides to do. What are we building here? A university. Okay. Vivi is playing really well here too, even though he's not really supporting his opponent with any kind of military beyond monks. At the moment, his entire cavalry force apparently being decimated here. Oh god, look at these blue tunics here and here and here. Oh god, a few of them here. Vivi just threw his entire army into the garbage. Although behind this, 4 monks, 2 more Shrevamshas being built. Now these organ guns, just slowly, 14 of them making their way south. They're going to run into a bunch of outposts, which will again distract them. But first to Imperial, first to the Trebs is Mr. Yo. And here comes his attack. 20 seconds away is Hera. Does he have the resources? Yes, he's got... No, never mind. Dips below 200 woods. Has the gold for a Treb. Getting husbandry. These camels are going to be super fast. And now let's take a look. He's sitting at 200 wood. No, opting for Cavalier upgrade? No, never mind. Opting for Heavy Camel upgrade instead. But we've got 3 monks here. And what is the Viper doing? He went a bit south. I think he destroyed this outpost. And now he's taking the fight to Mr. Yo with 2 villagers. Oh my god, one of them moonwalking. Glad we caught that on camera. And now 5 villagers forward with Hera's camels in support. But a second castle being built here. Did Hera get a little too greedy? How much stone does he have? 135 stone. No, what am I looking at? Sorry, 350 stone. So he can repair this castle for days. Any more Trebs coming out of our red player? No. The question is, how the hell are they going to deal with this? The Viper returning the favor with his own, as Wu said, balls to the walls castle right near the gate. This is going to get knocked down instantly. Look at these gunpowder units just shelling away at this gate. Oh, bad pathing here for Hera. He's going to take a bunch of archer fire. Camels, incredibly flimsy. Look at their base armor is 0. Shrevamsha's only upgraded +1. Hera pinging his teammates saying, oh, take a look at this chunk of infrastructure here that I just discovered. He's obviously going cavalry, and the Viper needs to be very careful. I mean, these organ guns are strong, but they're not invincible. Although against the full work, they're definitely very strong. Although a castle, again, going down for our pole. And here we go. What do we have here? Elite Shrevamsha riders, heavy camel rider, conscription. Vivi is literally preparing to put on a shit ton of aggression based on what he's researching. The Viper getting conscription. Okay. And what kind of progress is the Viper making? He is attacking a high priority target, a red Polish marketplace. Not exactly the highest priority target, but here come the Turks with their gunpowder. 2 bombard cannons for now, a 3rd in production. And we've got ourselves a good old-fashioned camel war. Oh, God. I said it in this... Hera taking this fight handily here. But Gurjaras with their camels, my god, remember, they're created faster. They do extra bonus damage. And he is now, as our blue player is an Imperial, so it's 40% extra bonus damage. So take a look at this. Camel 13 bonus damage against other camels. So another 40% of that takes, I think, that up to 18 or 19. I mean, yeah, Gurjara camels, plus if he researches, I forget the name of the upgrade, but it will add melee armor to the camel line units. Let's take a look. No, he's sitting at only a +3. Frontier Guards. Frontier Guards will add melee to these camels. For now, the party's disengaging. The Viper making himself at home in front of his opponent's base. Hera plopping down, taking the Viper's gold, no doubt with the Viper's permission. But here come these Gurjara camels yet again. I don't think the Turks have any kind of bonus for camels. I mean, let me know in the chat. I'm happy to be proven wrong, always happy to know and learn more, but I don't think they have any kind of bonuses or upgrades. Oh my god, look at this death on the battlefield here. Beautiful to watch. But Hera being pushed back. He's sitting at 8 camels. His opponent, oh my god, take a look at Vivi's camel count up top. 39 going up to 41. And that's exactly why the Viper has swung south. He is completely abandoned his aggression to the north. This castle is here. Maybe a Treb. Okay, yeah, exactly as it comes out. But no, you need to support your partner here. You need to backstab the person who's backstabbing your teammate. Oh, and the Turkish town center goes down. A second one lost. These camels are going to run amok. Oh, God, are they going to run amok? That's why Hera's building more town centers near Viper's base. But what is Vivi doing? And more importantly, what the hell is Mr. Yo doing? He's got one Obuchout, getting chemistry handcart. Is handcart really a priority right now? You are very close to the game being over if you keep pushing. Why are you getting handcart? Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to second guess somebody with his elo. In any event, it is getting handcart. There's colors all over the map. Hera building another town center in the back of Viper's base here in this little pocket side expansion part. Yeah, the Turks Raphael are very fast. It's a civilization that really can hit you really hard in the later stages of the game. I'm surprised they let Hera get this far ahead, although take a look at the count. Only 7. And yes, finally, we've got Xena Warrior Princess entering the game. The Chakram throwers with their disc. They are going to decimate the Viper's infantry. Remember, they get a bonus against these infantry. Plus, these discs do 100% pass-through damage. Oh, God. Viper had halberdiers here a split second ago. Now those halberdiers are dead. And all of the Viper's aggression here, with the exception of this. This might be a problem for Team Blue and Red to deal with. But, I mean, Hera is done. Hera's base is completely ransacked. He's got 15 villagers in here. These camels need to back away. Distracts him with one villager. Oh, you love to see it. But now Hera pinging Red's base, showing the Viper, hey, don't lose track of this bombard cannon that's shelling away your units. But how are they going to deal with this? I see he threw a bunch of camels into this. I guess you just throw a bunch of units at it until it dies. You know your opponents are on the back foot. Take a look at Hera's score compared to Vivi's. This is what happens when Vivi and Yo put on early game aggression. It's a thing of beauty to watch. The Janissaries counter camels? Yeah, I would have loved to see Janissaries. Unfortunately, his castle fell super early. And oh god, now these villagers are going to get decimated. I don't know what to say here. I think there's going to be a GG called maybe soon. Here we go. Hera, supporting his teammate, knows that this is their last hope. Obi-Wan. We've got the Obi-Wan Kenobi. You are our last hope organ guns here. Hera has to desperately defend them while the Viper tries to do some kind of damage here to the front. But his aggression has been completely stalled. A wall, a monastery open to the right, but not really open, I guess. And what is Hera doing behind this? 11 camels. He's building hussars. Remember, the Turks do one of the very cool features of the Turks. And there goes the last hope of Hera and the Viper. Although their military count is still at 43. Although 43 out of that, 36 are halberdiers. I don't know why it took me here when I clicked. Sometimes when I click units, it takes me a little bit away. But these halberdiers are going to be lunch meat for these chakram throwers. That's why he's running away. He knows he can't engage. But as I was saying, remember, one of the cool things about the Turks, one of my favorite things about them, is they get all the scout line upgrades for free. So the second you hit Imperial, you have Hussars. You don't have to spend money researching it. You don't have to spend time waiting for the research to be finished. Viper here has to very carefully maneuver these halberdiers. They're meat shields for these organ guns. Hera desperately trying to support his teammate with 10 Hussars. Where is his production? It's over here. He's trying to rebuild. But I think Red sees all of it. At least sees one stable. And Hera's base is a ghost town. Not a single villager beyond these two. I'm surprised that these two are still here. We've got a bunch to the south here cutting lumber. But his base is essentially a ghost town. What the hell do you do now? Take a look at the army supply. 80 to 58. Sorry, again. I'm not used to talking this much. And here come the chakrams, moving a little bit too far forward. I like the spread from the Viper, though. He's not clumping them here, making them on a thin line. But eventually, even though they will get rid of the Shravamshas, they do have to engage into the chakrams, and that's where they die, basically. And here we go. Mr. Yo finally producing an army here of Arbalests. Where are you going? Perfect snipe here. Maybe I went a little bit too far. Took a one shot to the face. Yeah, you are absolutely right. 100 villager difference, your mom. This is very much looking like a GG situation very, very soon. Blue continuing to stream into this base. Oh god, I mean, this is almost vindictive. You've gutted your opponent. Now you just want to clean up the villagers that are on the death's door here with barely any HP left. Oh god, I don't know what Hera and the Viper here can do. They're down now half the army supply. They're down 83 villagers. Hera's base has been completely ransacked, although the only resource left by him inside the base is this gold. But like I said, remember, the resources outside your base, all the stone is gone here. No wonder Red has so much to build castles. And now, both Hera and the Viper, I'm going to zoom out, have been compressed into the upper right corner of the map. They have zero map presence. Blue pinging his opponent saying, hey, take a look at this. I'm building markets here, but he's very quickly going to see that not only is he building markets, but there's a shit ton of villagers here ripe for the killing. Viper very cutely sending a few halberdiers, but the main engage is here. Oh god. Oh, unfortunate for the Viper that there's no bigger meat shield for his units. Hera, unfortunately, does not have just the numbers. And these Gurjara camels are just going to shred through everything. Oh, God. Mixed in with frickin' Polish siege. Yeah. Your mom, you're absolutely right. There's a GG. I can smell it in the wind. Does he see these guys? Nope. Okay. Wow. What a fun game. This is what happens when Mr. Yo and Vivi actually decide to put on some early game aggression. Beautiful to see from the beginning of the game. They knew they couldn't let their opponents establish themselves in Imperial. I think they let Hera get a little bit too far ahead. Look at that. He soaked up all the resources before he was finally dislodged. But late game Turks are no slouch. Remember, free Hussar upgrades. Not fully upgraded just yet. Still missing Blast Furnace, but I mean, out of how many 9 stables and how many villagers does Hera have on food? We don't know because they GG'd. Yeah, you do love to see it, Rebecca. What a fun, fast, action-paced game here. Hera doing the best he can. I mean, how many of us, we've all been in this position where we're playing a team game. We get ransacked, we get demolished, so we run into the safety of our opponent's base. Luckily, the Viper had enough room for Hera. Oh, did the 9 stables count these two up here? No, 13 stables in total for Hera. I mean, this is the, this is the difference between, I guess, a low elo and a high elo player. Is somebody like Hera, in the midst of running away, in the midst of having his entire base ransacked, still has the wherewithal and the micro to build 13 frickin' stables and a siege workshop Whereas other players may have just run away and just focused on their eco for a while, leaving their partner like the Viper to fend for himself. But no, Hera here building down the infrastructure. He still has 94 villagers, although these guys are not long for this world. This is 9 here, 10, and I think there was the 11th here. So he'll get knocked down into the low 80s. But yeah, what a fun game. Let's continue on. Vivi and Mr. Yo finally getting a point on the map. Now it's 1-2, and let's keep going. Game number 4. Wow, that game was a lot of fun. When one team decides to be incredibly aggressive early on, it's always fantastic. Okay, we find ourselves yet again back on arena. I'm going to take a sip of water while the players establish themselves. And now we have Mr. Yo playing as the Red Saracens. We'll see if he goes the market strategy with those guys. Vivi playing the Cumans. Okay, a very fun civilization to watch, especially in the hands of a pro. Viper Bohemians, also powerful. And Hera this time playing the Poles. Okay, so he took on Polish aggression, and now he's himself is playing the Poles. So let's take a look at the team bonuses for Mr. Yo, the Saracens. Excuse me. The team bonus. Foot archers have +3 attack against buildings. Oh man, that actually might be real deadly. Remember the Cumans, their archery ranges cost 100 wood, so they're cheaper. So they can produce a bunch of archery ranges in mid to late feudal, I would say. And if the archers that come out of there have a +3 attack against building, I mean, remember, archers in feudal age are essentially weak. They have very specific roles to play, but they do not demolish buildings. But with a +3 attack against buildings and cheaper archery ranges, we'll see if Team Vivi and Yo decide to go archer play. On the other hand, Hera here playing as the Poles. Again, scout cavalry line do have a +1 attack against archers. So if Team Vivi and Yo do decide to go foot archers, Hera will just start spamming light cav because they do have a small attack bonus. And the Bohemians markets work 80% faster. Okay, let's see if in game 4 we'll see our first trade of the game. I mean, last game the teams did try to set up trade towards the very, very late stages of the game. But we'll see what they do in this game. 80% working faster markets is an incredible bonus for team games. Totally useless, I guess, for 1v1s, but on a TG, it's incredibly powerful, incredibly useful. And let's see if Vivi and Mr. Yo decide to rinse and repeat the same strategy. I mean, they were very aggressive early on. Walmart Mangadai, exactly, Woo. I mean, well, let's not say exactly, because I don't see a Kipchak out on the map just yet. But definitely hope that we do see Viper scouting out onto the map. Oh, decides to back away and go home. Vivi, this time in green. Mr. Yo in red, again, not scouting any of his opponent's side of the map. Mr. Yo, though, I guess got some early scouting with this scout. So he does see where his opponent is, does see where the stone pile is, where he can apply the most pressure. And for now, all the players gathering their resources, exact same villager count, exact same military count. We're in the very early stages, you know, pawn e5, etc. If they, I think that's the right move. Sorry, guys. I should know. Oh, very interesting location for a palisade wall. This is an interesting way to locate wild animals. I never thought to do this. And I highly recommend everyone does this. Now, this is one of those things where when you see it, all of a sudden makes a lot of sense. But what a fun little tactic here by Vivi to show his partner on the map where exactly. I mean, Mr. Yo sees the dot, or no, he doesn't. Okay, I thought you would be able to see that with your team vision, but I guess Vivi is doing it for himself. Now at least he'll know where the wolf is. I wonder if that's a precursor to any kind of early game aggression that he plans on putting on. Let's see what he's actually seen of his opponent. has seen nothing. He's going straight to the Viper's base instead. I mean, you have your teammate's vision. I don't know why he's, piling onto a area of vision that has already been scouted. Although it might just be to defend these 3 herders, these 3 shepherds, as they walk forward with their crooks. And let's see what Mr. Yo decides to do. Will he repeat the same strategy? It seems like it. Okay, if it worked once, why the hell not? But neither player here scouting Hera's base at all. It is completely in the dark. And we'll see if rinse repeat works. It is such a nice trick, right? It's like one of those things where you just don't realize, oh, by the way, for almost no wood, I can just remember where these wild animals are. So if I do send out my own villagers, they will... Oh, now Mr. Yo pinging over here. I'm not too sure. I mean, Vivi isn't really sending out any villagers. He's going back. We'll see. Maybe Mr. Yo asked him to kill that wolf. But for now, Mr. Yo literally Control-C, Control-V, copy-paste. Let's see if he decides to kill this wolf. No. Okay, so I wonder why Mr. Yo pinged that area of the map. Remember, one of the super-duper cool things about humans that makes them such a versatile civilization is that in feudal, they can build a second town center before anyone else. And they can also start pumping out rams in feudal age, which may actually come in very handy here against a master waller like the Viper. But for now, I don't see any green streaming across the map. Everyone but the Viper is in feudal. He is 45 seconds away. And now let's see what they do. Again, trying to bust into the base. Okay, I mean, look, I was a little skeptical at the beginning of Vivi's scouting, but take a look at the minimap. Okay, he's basically, while Mr. Yo is focusing on the front of the Viper's base, Vivi is scouting the entire map. And we'll see if this is for relic sighting. We'll see if it's for any other kind of purpose. But for now, Viper plopping down a very early defensive tower. He doesn't want any kind of shenanigans on the western portion of his base. And what are the players doing? For now, archers coming out of our red Saracen, going straight into the tower. Remember, the stronger the ranged unit you put into your defensive structures, the more arrows it fires. So these archers are not going to move forward. He's going to see a bunch of the Viper's infrastructure here. Okay, so the Viper doing what the Viper does best. Right-clicking and building a gate to block his opponent. The Scout Cavalry cannot engage into this our firing zones. Oh my god, is anyone better at this than the Viper? I don't think so. Excuse me, he is very good at trapping your units. I always like to say, if you're going to enter your opponent's base with your military, especially in the early stages of the game, when your military is weak as shit, I'm talking about, of course, Scout Cavalry, archers that attack on a 4, etc. Always make sure you have an exit strategy. But an added caveat, if you ever play against the Viper and you enter into his base, not only do you make sure you have an exit strategy, but be comfortable with the idea that you're going to lose every single one of your units, because he is going to gate you like no other player can. Although does manage to escape with his villagers, his shepherds, does Mr. Yo. And let's see what he's doing. The Viper here putting on a much earlier defense than he did last game. Hera, yet again, just hanging out. He's got his full work up. A second full work. Okay, so he's looking to boom. He's sitting on the back of 29 villagers. I guess the tied for the lowest villager count, although Mr. Yo now supply blocked, going up to 30 villagers. Green as well is just happy to hang back. Got his second town center up and running. And he's just happy to play supportive role at this stage of the game. Although the Viper is going to shoo away his Scout Cavalry, much more damage. Oh god, look at the HP on this guy. Hera took a bad fight somewhere. And now we've got another tower being built. But the Viper with his one archer is going to be very annoying until Mr. Yo comes with his own archer. Hi, good times. Glad you could join us. Very exciting matchup so far. This is what we like to see. Let's see if control paste strategy works in game number 4 here for Mr. Yo and Vivi. Okay. Vivi loses his scout cavalry to a much healthier one from the Viper. Hera first to castle, not a surprise when he's just booming and turtling. 2 town centers, love the location of this one, so much wood around. This one also beautiful. I mean, he got lucky a little bit here with the placement of his resources. Did Hera clump over here, clump over here, clump over here. Got to be careful though, you don't want to lumberjack too much that you create an opening. Although I'm surprised that usually the players delete these kinds of back walls. I'm surprised Hera has left his up. I mean, take a look. All Mr. Yo has done it. Vivi's done it. The Viper's done it. Oh my god, right as I say it, he does it too. I was going to say, is Hera... It reminds me, you know, your mom always says, well, if your friends all jump off a bridge or walk off, take a long walk off a short pier, are you going to do it too? And apparently Hera, yeah, succumbs to peer pressure and deletes his back wall. Do I think Hera being Cumans is Poles is stronger than Cumans? I would say 51% to 49%, just because Hera's cavalry use is probably, I don't want to say guaranteed the best in the game. Oh, he's creating a little wall off here. I wonder if he expects a bunch of aggression from green here. But his cavalry use is just fantastic. Another full work going down. Another full work. How many full works does he have? 3 full works in total. Another town center. Hera is booming huge. But yeah, cavalry in the hands of Hera is incredibly dangerous, especially a Hera who's been left alone. This is not the Turks from last game where, you know, you have to get up to a certain stage. You have to make sure your research, your upgrades are all in place. This is Poles. So the second he gets to castle, which he's already in castle, if we see the Schlachter privileges being researched here in the top right, unless I missed it, and he's already gotten it, Hera is going to be incredibly dangerous. Now, the real question is, how will Hera do with Cumans? Okay, both Vivi and Yo balancing their economies out. We've got our first Step Lancer coming out from Vivi, but Mr. Yo is heading up to castle. Beautiful, although on the back of one town center. How did Hera know? How did Hera know that his opponent was going to build a castle here? I mean, is this walled off? This is not walled off, is it? Yes, it is. Okay, one little oak tree. Incredible game sense by him, although has to be careful. Remember, Step Lancers do have one range, can attack through things. And now we've got essentially a standoff between the Viper and Mr. Yo in the front of the Viper's base. I don't think the Viper is any worse for the wear here at 40 villagers to Mr. Yo's 40. The only issue is Mr. Yo is slowly starting to creep ahead in army supply. What is this? 13 to 10. More towers going down for him. But let's see how Hera handles the Cumans here. The question is, your mom, the Cumans in the hands of who? Hera going up to Imperial also now. Team Blue and Yellow. Or sorry, what am I talking about? Sorry, guys, I got confused there. Vivi going up to Imperial. Hera and the Viper firmly ensconced in Castle Age. And let's take a look at what they decide to do here. Oh, what are we researching? Fervor? Okay, so the Viper's monks are going to be faster. We'll see what he does with that advantage, if anything. Does he have a single monk out on the field? He does not. Does he have a single monastery? Yes, he does. I mean, obviously, he's researching Fervor. So he's got one monastery. Oh, God, Vivi is pressing the issue here. There we go, Woo. Walmart, Mangudai. You love to see them. They're such a fun unit with their top knot. This is, I don't know how many of you guys are Wheel of Time readers, but this is what I imagine the Shienarans to be like when they describe them as having shaved their heads, and they all have top knots, Uno, and all the other guys from the Great Hunt. Sorry to nerd out a little bit, but this is a nice little diverse army here from Vivi. Should be able to handle whatever Hera throws at him, especially if Hera throws his only military unit, the Scout Cavalry, which is still in the middle of the field, still with dog shit HP. And oh god, a second castle now. So Hera preempting with a wall off. But again, did he get too greedy just like last game? Viper finally going up to Imperial. Willie Mac, Vivi is your favorite player? Okay. I think I do have a bunch of Vivi games. They're always fun to watch. They are really fun to watch. And now he's inside Hera's base. We'll keep an eye out on these incredibly... I mean, the Cumans are lightning fast. Kipchak's on a 1.62. Step Lancer's not far behind. Actually, ahead 1.68. My apologies. And now we've got our first trap. Vivi first to reach Imperial. Oh no, Hera again in serious trouble, but never, ever count Hera out. We've now reached a stage where we basically have a team game, but what it's devolved into, or rather evolved into, because it's a lot of fun, is a 1v1 times 2. So we've got Mr. Yo taking on the Viper to the north. We've got Vivi taking on Hera to the south. Is this Schlachter? Yeah, we're getting Schlachter privileges. So the Knights are going to cost 60% less gold. Husbandry going down. They're going to be super fast. I'm getting way too excited. My voice is becoming raspy. And let's take a look. Now, remember, the Cumans, it would just not be fair to give them Husbandry. So this is basically as fast as these units get. Oh, no. Oh no, even Mother Nature says big fuck you to Hera as he tries to plop down Fullworks and this gets distracted by a wolf. Although I like the extra infrastructure here by him. The Viper sending whatever he can, whatever meager support. 9 crossbows are not going to do much here, but what might do something is 9 Polish Knights. And let's see what happens here. Why are you attacking the Treb? You've got a Kipchak here. Okay, 3 freaking Trebs out on the map. Okay, let's take a quick look and see what the situation is here. It seems to have slowed down. Remember, Bohemians, very much a gunpowder civilization. Wouldn't mind seeing a couple of war wagons out of him. Or rather, a Hussite wagon, not a war wagon. My apologies. But he does not have a castle. Oh god, I mean, he has access to some of the biggest units, the Hufniches, the Howitzers. I recently found out, by the way, that the Hufnice, the big juicy cannon of the Bohemians, I guess he's building a bombard cannon, so you can upgrade these to Hufnices, but that is actually the root word of howitzer. So very interesting. I was just saying howitzer because I thought it sounded the same, but I didn't realize it was actually the root. All of the Viper's expeditionary force is now feeding the worms, and all the pinging in the world is not going to stop this Cuman castle from going up. Super cool looking castle. And oh my god, yet again, Hera and the Viper find themselves on the back foot, but my god, take a look at Hera. The versatility of this player. He's not #1 in the world for nothing. Look at him just expanding outward with the Viper's hand cannon support, getting all the farmland that he can. Does not need that much gold. Remember, Schlachter cuts the cost of a knight, I think, from... Oh my god, I sorry guys, I'm trying to focus on a million things at once here. From 75 gold to 30. Essentially making it a 2 for unit, 2 for the price of 1. Let's see if these knights decide to make an issue of these Kipchaks. Kipchaks have to disengage, though. But now Hera has to disengage, otherwise he's going to fight straight into a face of a castle. Block printing going down for our red player. His monks are going to have extra range. But what the hell is Mr. Yo doing right now? He is nowhere to be found. Sending monks? Okay, he's collecting relics. What has he got back home? Nothing. He's sitting on 49 villagers. Oh no, did Mr. Yo fall asleep? Oh, getting all of the trebs of his opponent. Oh my god, Hera making these knights work. What are their upgrades? +2, +2. So he's going to do a good amount of damage with these guys. But entering into 2 castle fires, I mean, you guys hear me harp on murder holes left, right, and center, but do you even need murder holes when these castles have each other's back? Now, this castle under attack by a Bohemian bombard cannon. And I ask again, where the hell is Mr. Yo? What is he producing? He's got 1 knight? I'm assuming a conversion from this one monk who's desperately trying to flee into the safety of the castle. Will he make it? Yes, he does make it. Immediately exits stage south. And the Viper now helping his teammate out with a few hand cannons, but this is not going to be enough hand cannons to stop the Kipchak wave that's approaching him. Why is Yo's score so low? Because he's got jack shit out on the map. He's got 5 monks. And he's building 1 Treb in the safety and comfort of his own base's perimeter. All aggression here has stopped by him. I mean, you're playing Saracens, I get it. You're probably buying, selling resources. But you're playing the Poles. You've got, literally, as the Saracens, you've got the game's, in my opinion, greatest anti-Knight Cavalier Paladin unit in the game, the Mameluke. Incredibly expensive unit. I think it's up to 85 gold now. He's converting elite skirmishers. What the hell is he doing? I don't know what the hell Mr. Yo is doing. 1 castle does fall, and now the yellow gunpowder units are streaming into Hera's base. Yeah, Mr. Yo here desperately needs... Okay, elite Kipchak upgrade. Oh, you love to see the elite discount Mangudai. Mr. Yo, build some Mamelukes, please. His army is basically a borrowed army. Anything he can convert, he converts. And he's not building any army of his own. Okay, finally building his first Mameluke. So, Joshi will see if Mr. Yo's score goes up at all. Mr. Yo isn't Mr. No. I forget that... Rather, I don't forget, but it slips my mind sometimes that there's people who have literally been watching. Like, I've been watching these people play for years and years. But there are some fans out there that have been watching Vivi, Mr. Yo, the Viper. They know the playstyles of these players. So I'm sure somewhere on Reddit, Mr. Yo and Mr. No is a big thread. But finally, 4 Mamelukes. My all-time favorite unit in Age of Empires is entered the game. And now that Hera sees this, how will he react? Like I said, incredibly expensive unit. 85 gold for this 1 cavalry slaughtering unit. 9 attack against cavalry, but my god, don't let that simple +9 fool you. I mean, maybe a Kamayuk would do better, an Incan Kamayuk against cavalry. But, oh god, Castle Age Knights into Imperial Age Kipchaks is not a fight Hera wants to take, even with some elite skirmisher support. But Vivi here wisely deciding to... What have they actually seen of Hera's... They haven't seen any part, or rather, never mind, they've seen it all. Okay, so he knows exactly that his opponent is rebuilding his infrastructure. Okay, he's sacrificing these Kipchaks. That's a big sacrifice here. Why? Because he's building Cavaliers and even more Kipchaks. And now, Mr. Yo, finally, with the monks, with the Mamelukes, moving forward. He gets a bombard cannon. You love to see it. This villager, graphics-wise, was hammering the ground, but in reality was repairing that bombard cannon. And Hera's base, yet again, not a ghost town, as it was last game, but he has been pushed back. But my god, this is like pushing against a balloon full of water. You press on the left, and it shifts to the right. And look at the infrastructure by Hera. He is sitting on 127 villagers. And yes, your mom, you are absolutely right, except that Hera is 30 seconds away from being Imperial. And once he gets these, like I said, it would be totally unfair for the Poles to get... Paladins, but they do have Cavaliers. And let's see what he decides to do with his Imperial. Finally, all players are in Imperial. Mamelukes moving forward with support. Mr. Yo has woken up from his nap, but now we've got green Kipchak Cavaliers entering the juicy, unprotected parts of Hera's base, and he's got nothing here to deal with this. Where's his closest military? Oh god, they are dealing with Cavaliers to the right here. Oh, this is going to be bad for Hera. if Vivi decides to press the issue. You can build as many light cav as you want. They are not going to stand very long against Cavaliers. Okay, Mamelukes engaging very poorly. That's a bit of a waste of these very expensive units. Did I see the puff of a gunpowder unit somewhere? No, never mind. It was the puff of stone being mined. Okay, Vivi continuing to press the issue, bringing a Trev very much forward. But yeah, I mean, you do not want to engage into a Cavalier war with a player who's playing a Civ. That gives him a 2-for-1 discount, basically, on Cavaliers in terms of gold. Loses the Trev, does Vivi. Okay, Hera here wants as much maneuverability as possible. Very smart by him. Deletes all of his walls. And now he's moving forward. Let's take a look. Military at the moment. Hera, 35 Cavaliers. The Viper, where is his army? Now he's getting a relic too. Viper's army in the middle of the map. He's got 27 elite skirmishers, a bunch of halbs, and some hand cannons. Hera finally getting the last attack upgrade for his melee units, but my god, it's 100 seconds ran at a minute 40. Our green Cumin, 22 Cavaliers, 6 Kipchaks. Mr. Yo, though, needs to start pulling his weight. Yeah, you need to produce more Mamelukes. Imagine 15 or 20 Mamelukes just show up here. That is essentially GG. I don't care how cheap. You can have trash units spamming Cavaliers that cost no gold. If they run into a wall of Mamelukes, they are Dunzo. Dunzo, Washington. Okay. Theater of War has now completely moved west. I mean, there's a little bit of aggression here. Oh, not paying attention is Hera. He's going to lose a bunch. 4 of these Cavaliers. Oh, converting the weaker one. It's a good that one didn't convert, to be honest. And now we finally got 12 Mamelukes out on the field. Oh my god, sorry guys. The clicking went a little bit crazy on me. And now let's watch what happens here. Viper and Hera taking on Vivi. Mr. Yo, yet again, nowhere to be found. Although Team Hera, Team Viper, not a single siege weapon anywhere to be found. So this castle will do a good amount of damage, especially with the, 8 villagers inside. Adding a few extra arrows, but my god, Hera just not stopping to produce Cavaliers. He's going up to 45 Cavaliers. Mr. Yo, what the hell are you doing? You are protecting yourself here while your opponent handles a 2-on-1. You got to be like Lord of the... I'm going to go back to Lord of the Rings as I always do. You have to slam into the side of this army right now with your Mamelukes. I mean, how many does he have left? Still sitting on 12. 6 kills only for these guys. And what do we have? How many units do we have here? 39 Cavaliers, 21. That's 60, 70 army supply on this screen. Although, right as I say that, of course, Hera shifts back east to help the Viper. The Viper is very much in need of assistance right now. He's got a bunch of red units. The Mamelukes, sure, but the bombard cannons are going to be very problematic for him to deal with. Terrible engage here for Hera, in my opinion, although these elite skirmishers are going to do wonders against Kipchaks, against halberdiers. Although when they're surrounded like this, they're going to do one thing and one thing only, and that is die as fast as possible. Let's take a look at upgrades. We've got a +4, +2 against a +4, +3. So the upgrade does go here in favor of our green Cumin. And okay, oh yeah, you love to see it. I mean, come on, look at how fun these units are. They have to run away from the elite skirmishers, but you can kite these halberdiers for days. Does lose one, will lose a second if he's not careful. Okay, gap in the wall. Oh my god, Viper, how is he always so on point with his frickin' walling? Look at this. Look at this. We're 48 minutes into the game. He's got a bunch of shit happening all over the map. He's trying to support his opponent. He's gathering relics. Nothing out of this castle yet, but in the middle of all of this, manages to trap... What was that? 8 or 10 Mamelukes? Oh my god, here come more, though. These are wasted on the Viper. Spend these on Hera. Push Hera back. Hera's been knocked down to a meager 65 Cavaliers, 45 of whom are here. This is not a fight Hera needs to take, though. This is bad. Look how amazing Mamelukes are. Right as I say that, Hera runs away. The Mamelukes miss. And, of course, the exact opposite of what I said would happen actually does happen. But Hera has reclaimed his base. The Polish Commonwealth has pushed the Cuman aggression back. And now the players are just circling each other, waiting, I guess, to max out. Look at the army supply of the Viper and Hera here, 130 to 87. That's a huge advantage and beautiful. I mean, look, if there ever was a thumbnail for a YouTube video, would it not be this? Take a look. Only thing more beautiful would be if these were paladins. And let's just watch the massacre here. He has to retreat, does Vivi. I mean, in the face of 42. Oh my god, these halberdiers. Welcome to the party, buddy. Where were you 5 seconds ago? Okay, continuing to push through the front. These Mameluke, I mean, you've got a unit designed to kill cavalry, and what are you doing with it? You're attacking gates. Okay, Mr. Yo not playing optimally at this stage of the game at all. Vivi is banking paladins. Let's take a look at his resources. Oh, it definitely does seem that way. The question is, paladins only 19. Okay, healing up his cavaliers. He's trying to save them for later. Oh no, Hera finds a juicy gold pile here. And what is Hera doing with all these cavaliers? God, it's so pretty to watch. Look at this. 6,000 HP of killing machines. For some reason, Mr. Yo just has something stuck in his craw here. He is attacking halberdiers and elite skirmishers with Mamelukes. You're literally one of the most expensive unique units in the game in terms of gold cost, and you're attacking halberdiers. Okay, here we go. Let's watch these Come on, turn around. Turn around. Where is he retreating to? Okay, retreating into a choke point. Brilliant. No, you don't even need to move them. Just leave them. Let them attack the cavaliers. Who cares? You'll lose a few. God, they're so good at killing cavalry. Do you see a single dead Mameluke here? I do not. Oh, that's why they're my favorite unit. Oh, they don't take bonus damage from skirmishers. Okay. All right, because they're camel units, technically, right? Let's click on a skirmisher. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. All the cool little, neat, little distinguishing things here in this game. They are camel units. Good catch, Willie Mac. But yeah, still, you do not want to be trading Mamelukes for elite skirmishers, even without any kind of attack bonus. Just a waste. And he does exactly that. He's coming back, but this time with a juicy meat shield of hussars. But the main battle, the beautiful battle, is still here in the west. Hera desperately trying to take on these Cuman aggressive units. 11 cavaliers left for our Cuman player, who has now dumped all of his gold into Kipchaks and into trade cards. Okay, finally we're going to see a team game with some trade units. Do I see anything streaming here? Absolutely not. Hera cannot afford to risk investing resources into trade at the moment, lest it come under Kipchak attack. Oh, they are technically a cavalry archer class? Okay. So in that case, they do take the 2 extra damage, I think, from the elite. I thought it was because it was a camel unit. But I guess that makes sense. The elite skirmishers do get an attack bonus against the Berber camel archers, right? And so if they get an attack against those, they should technically get an attack against Mamelukes, who for some reason yet again retreat. I mean, Viper. Oh, there we go. Look at these guys. They're so much fun to watch. The howitzers, the Haufnitzes. 4 of them for the Viper. 5th one somewhere on the way. Hera now pushing in with the Winged Hussar. What a fun unit to watch. Not every civ gets them. But those that do, I love to see them. I think they do get an attack bonus against gunpowder, right? In addition to monks. Yeah, attack against gunpowder. Or rather, in addition to monks. This is not a good engage for Hera here into a choke point with a castle. Oh my god, did Vivi get murder holes? Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, there you go. This is the first, or probably one of the only pro games I've cast where somebody actually gets murder holes. And by the way, someone who's not playing Teutons, because the Teutons get them for free, but someone who actively decided to get murder holes. Finally, Mr. Yo, welcome to the chat. All of these winged hussars, remember, I think they are more powerful than the regular hussars, 100 HP to the 95. But how's he going to respond to these Haufnitzes, these howitzers? They're shelling away at his castle. He is repairing it, but how much stone does he have? Less than 200. What the hell is even the point of repairing this castle at this point? Okay. And now we've entered a somewhat trash war. Red pinging here probably wants markets to go down. Oh god, the Cumans are being pushed back. What an insane defense here by Hera. At the end of this game, I'm going to zoom out. I want you guys to see Hera's base, his macro. I mean, God, there's a reason this is the #1 player in the world. Mr. Yodo here being really strange, acting really, really strange. His score is not that much below the Vipers, about 1,000, 1,300 points, but he just has not been active with these Mamelukes. They're down 1,000 HP just by hanging around and taking a bunch of skirmisher fire. And now Viper moving out with the trash to support these big, powerful howitzer units. Oh, look how quickly they demolish buildings. What is it, 250 bonus against buildings? 300! Oh, God. Oh, you love to see the Bohemians. Oh, you love to see them. Okay. Disengage on the left. Hera realizes he can't keep throwing hussars down the toilet forever with these halbs. But I think this is what's going to win Team Vivi and Yo the game. If they do end up winning, it's this trade. We'll take a look at the end of the game at the stats, but I'm pretty sure that their trade is, what's the correct mathematics? Something compared to 0. Like 10,000 to 0 is what? An infinite percentage bigger? And now the Kipchaks are moving forward. Discount Mangudai, fuck you, they say to all of us watching. We are going to snipe these Trebs and then run away at our 1.62 speed. These winged hussars moving at what? 1.65. Okay, so they can catch up to the Kipchaks pretty quickly. But they will die to Halb Kipchak combo. We've got some outposts being attacked here. The Viper moving forward. Mr. Yo being pushed back. He's got 54 army supply to the Viper's 97. But with enough trash to support, I mean, these Mamelukes, again, they're going to do a lot of damage. But they actually have to fire. You can't just move them around. I would love to see a little bit of micro here from Mr. Yo to get these Hufnitzes. Oh my god, is he going to convert the Hufnitze? No, he's not, is he? I mean, the monk is still alive. Oh, he's taking skirmisher fire, and the monk goes down. Okay. Hera here fully transitioned to winged hussars, sitting at 30, going up to 45. Strengthening his buildings here with masonry, more HP, more defensive armor. Yeah, you can take this army, just swarm him. Oh, Mr. Yo. Oh, the Hufnitzes go down. This might be a problem here for the Viper. He is now sitting at 0 Hufnitzes, building 1 only. But will the Kipchaks give him time? 39 in production, almost 70. What is that? 40 and 30, 70 halberdiers out of Mr. Yo, out of Vivi, rather. Mr. Yo stuck with his Mamelukes. Although, again, like I said, oh, watch this. I want these winged hussars to engage into Mamelukes just so you can see how fast they're going to die. Oh, it just takes almost nothing. Like I said, my favorite unit in the game. Or maybe one of my favorite units. It's hard to pick a favorite. It's like, you know, your kids. Not that I have kids plural, but... Welcome to Cast of Empires, where you get to hear my stream of consciousness thoughts as we watch electronic ones and zeros on the screen fight and kill each other in the hands of incredibly talented players. Why are you running away? Snipe, don't just run away. Here we go. Look at how quickly these hussars are just going to die. Oh, God. Ah, frickin' Mamelukes, man. Okay, anyway, Kipchak's moving forward. Halberdier's gonna die to these elite skirmishers. I said Kipchaks, I meant Cumans. What have we got here? We got a siege workshop. Any trade for Team Hera Viper? Absolutely not. Okay, now we've got a few more Hoofnitzes on the way. Shelling this castle, but we've got one monk. Is he going to convert? Is he going to convert? He's walking towards him. Not the best pathing. Gets the Hoofnitze. Nice. We got our first Saracen howitzer in the game. Oh, yeah. Spread out the Mamelukes and just decimate this. You can do it, man, with the castle backing you up. Yeah, it is very problematic here for Hera to have no gold income whatsoever. But for now, that's why he's spamming. He's going up to 80 freaking winged hussars. The problem is he's throwing them into the face of halberdiers and Kipchaks. Oh my god, look at Vivi peacocking with his one cavalier here. He knows these halberdiers are going to do nothing to him. Castle might do different, but look at these halberdiers, these skirmishers rather. Viper trying to Viper gate in the middle of the map here to protect his Hoofnitzes. Castle does go down for Mr. Yo, but he's built a bunch of backup castles to the west. What a fun game. And now the players again disengaged. For some reason, Hera following the Viper's halberdiers to the front here. And where the hell is Mr. Yo's army? What does he have? Oh god, he's been knocked down to 11, 9 Mamelukes and a bunch of hussars. Okay, Mr. Yo, the weak link of his team here, unfortunately. But the question is, does Hera have what it takes to stop this Cuman push here? Now, god, the siege is coming forward. This castle will die. Hera is out of stone. He's at sub 100. The question is, I mean, what are you doing? This is just, again, Hera pretending to be Mr. Yo here, just hanging out. Oh, will he get another Hoofnitze? No, he will not. Oh, no, maybe, yeah. Okay, does not get it. These two monks managing to shoo away. Look at these hero monks, by the way, managing to shoo away this entire army, which swings south. He is going to slam into the side of Vivi's infrastructure here while Vivi is busy attacking the front. The question is it too little too late? Hera surprised that this castle is still standing. Look at Mr. Yo selling as much as he can, trying to get gold. Like I said, Mamelukes incredibly expensive. Mr. Yo pinging, warning Vivi that there's a forest of halberdiers heading his way. Halberds, rather. Oh no, this is a waste of siege units here by Vivi. They do have an insane amount of trade. This is, like I said, if they end up winning this game, this is the reason why. And I'm going to take a look at the stats. We'll see exactly how much trade they had. But militarily, take a look at the military. 153 to 86. And it's not like these 86 is huge, powerful units. Although finally, we get to see paladins here. Awesome. Cuman paladins, always fun to see. Fully upgraded paladins. We'll see what happens, though. This is a lot of halberdiers. This is a lot of howitzers being tickled away at by these two Cuman halberdiers. I see some red streaming across the map. Finally, Mr. Yo shows up to the party with his mama. Why are you retreating? You don't need to retreat. Hussars do not have any kind of attack bonus. Look how quickly they're dying. I don't think they have an attack bonus against your units. No, they don't. Oh my god, this is a lot of mammal. This is what I wanted to happen 35, 40 minutes ago. And just look at these guys melt. Look at the blue units just melt. Okay. So the Viper pivots south, slams into the Cumans, but then gets rear-ended himself by Mr. Yo. Okay, yeah, Jer, that makes sense. Like I thought. I figured because they're camel units, they don't have the same armor class. So they don't take any bonus damage from skirms. That's good to know. That basically makes these guys, as long as they can evade the halberdiers, makes them probably the most powerful unit on the map right now. You do not want to be trading Kipchaks for elite skirmishers, although, I mean, Hera and the Viper must know that there's a good amount of trade by their opponents, right? I mean, we're an hour and 14 minutes into the game. Hera's got an army that's completely trash. Viper's got an army that's completely trash. And yet their opponents are producing Mamelukes and Kipchaks and Paladins. So you know your opponents are trading. Now, the question is, do you continue massing trash and just trying to break them with numbers? or do you try to bust into the base and try to find their trade? You know, we've all played that map Michi, however you pronounce it, M-I-C-H-I, where the second you bust into your opponent's base through the wood line, you just send a huge amount of cavalry to try to disrupt their trade. I wonder if that's what Hera and the Viper have to do here, but where is there an avenue for them to even get? Maybe a few siege units here to help stop, to help bust a hole through the wall. But like I said, they must know there's 17 paladins in production, siege rams, trebuchets. The only non-trash unit for Hera and the Viper. I don't know why I keep saying Mr. Viper. The Viper is the howitzers. Oh god, look at this. Why does he keep disengaging with these units? Fully upgraded Mamelukes are going to be some serious damage dealer. But here come the Paladins. Do not engage into the pike. The helms. No. No. What a waste of expensive units here. But on the left flank, Vivi takes the fight handily. These two Haufnitzas trying to shell away at this one Treb. Hera moving in with a huge body of winged hussars. Let's see if he decides to slam these guys through the back. Or what? Oh, hi, Kotal Khan. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy. I think we have one more game after this, so stick around. Do the humans have husbandry, Woo? I thought they didn't have husbandry. Oh, wow. What a massacre here. And yet again, Vivi pulling some weird moves with these Mamelukes. I wonder if he's treating them a little bit too much like actual, Berber cavalry archers here, just maneuvering them left, right, and center, when instead he should be planting them firmly in the path of these blue hussars. And now Vivi pushed back a third time, maybe a fourth time, to the safety of his castle. But again, look at all this infrastructure here in the center of the map here. It gives him a huge amount of vision. And not only that, it distracts the Viper from attacking because he has to deal with all this infrastructure. Yeah, let's see what happens here. I mean, this is... Oh, sorry, guys. Something just fell on my desk. Conscription for like cavern cover. Yeah, exactly. Kotal Khan, gonna continue practicing my 14 forwards. I appreciate that so much. Good luck in your practicing. What civ do you favor? Let me know. Oh god, for the first time, Vivi has been pushed back to the walls of his original base. These howitzers, these Haufnitzas, 7 of them here. Where the hell is Red? Red is decimating the Viper's base. And now the Viper's base has become a ghost town. Yeah, bring them back. Is it me or are they moving slower than usual? No, never mind. They're moving just fast as they need to. And just slam into this. Oh. What happened? Did the game exit again? No, I still have the game playing. Oh, geez. Connection lost. Sorry, guys. I don't know what the hell's happening. Let's, I have never seen these kinds of, error messages, of course. It has to happen when I go live. And let's just close all these boxes. Let's, where were we? An hour and 20 minutes into the game? Let's take a look. Turks. Viper base is gone. Oh, okay. 87% victory is not bad for the Saracens. I guess a lot of people do the market strategy. Okay, it's loading the game. Oh, man. What a fun game. But of course, why does it have to... Let's see, guys. I apologize. I don't know. It says loading replay. Okay, let's get out of this. One sec. This is, we're back to the OG Age of Empires. Let's take a look here. We'll go to Capture Age. Okay, here we go. Restart, and we'll have to, you'll have to unfortunately just chat with me for the next 7 or 8 minutes while we catch up to the 1 hour 20 minute mark. 7 out of 8 in the new account now rated 13. Oh, that's nice. 87% total victory. That's crazy. Oh, thanks, your mom. I just came with the computer. I didn't have the, I didn't have the patience to change it. Okay. We have our early game aggression here. It is an Alienware, woo. I love the Alienware brand. I think it's one of the best computers, especially for gaming. Okay, we're only an hour away from catching up to where we were a second ago. It's interesting that Capture Age doesn't have a... sorry, guys. I think the actual game itself is... Yeah, the Age of Empires game itself was being very loud. I apologize for that. But it's unfortunate that it doesn't have a restart to where it crashed feature. Capture Age. But either way... Yeah, Emperor Motto, they're holding on with a credible amount of trash units. I think Mr. Yo is not being as aggressive as he could be with his Mamelukes, which is problematic. Sorry, guys, we're watching this game on a 13 times speed. I honestly don't know how else to get to an hour and 20 minutes. I think there's a time bar, but for some reason my time bar never really works. You see, it's already here at the latest. But in any event, I'm glad everyone's here. I'm glad everyone's enjoying. We're on game 4. You can see Hera and the Viper ahead 2-1. And my god, what a fun game that it's been so far. Mr. Yo, though, needs to step up the aggression with the Mamelukes. Although, like I said, the trade... If they end up winning, which, by the way, I mean, it kind of seems like they're going to win, Mr. Yo and Vivi, just based on the fact that they're producing insanely powerful units and their opponents are going trash without any kind of trade whatsoever. The trade is really what's going to win them the game, and I really do want to look at the end to see exactly how much trade was done here. I remember this. Remember this with Mr. Yo and his converting elite skirmishers on the map. That was fun. Hera losing the northern portion of his base. I don't know, Matt Denham. I honestly have no clue why they're not trading. I suspect. Don't quote me, but I suspect. Let me just move the screen away from the battle so we're not hearing too much. I suspect that it's because they are completely exposed. Like here, there's no wall off. Whereas towards the end of the game, Vivi and Yo walled off this entire area and are able to trade without any kind of ramifications. There's nobody attacking them. Plus, they're the ones putting on the aggression to Hera and Viper. So even though with the Bohemians, the markets do work 80% faster. So that's why in the beginning of the game, I said, I hope we finally get to see some trade. But exactly, also, not much population. They're going trash. When you're going trash, you cannot afford to spend any population space on, what's the word I'm looking for? Non-essentials. Let's put it like that. You need villagers, and you need trash units. Now, they could take a short-term hit if they transition from a bit of trash. Like if they delete 20, if Viper, for example, deletes 10 halbs and 10 elite skirmishers, and builds 20 trade carts, it's very possible, but he will take a hit to his military almost immediately. So there is that risk. So I think it's a number of factors. I think they just never managed. Plus, again, look how exposed any trade would have to go through here. And look how exposed it is. Even with these two castles, I mean, Kipchaks will run in and just decimate the trade routes. And so these guys have very much a safe path for their trade cards, but Viper and Hera just absolutely do not, especially if they want to maximize the trades, you know, like starting here and ending somewhere here. I mean, they could do a shorter term trade, I guess. Maybe that's not really cost effective in the short term, but, you know, putting a market here, for example, and another market here, I guess it's possible. The question is, you know, trade cards are not free. Oh, remember this? Man, this seems like a lifetime ago, all these huge battles. But guys, we are approaching the moment when the game crashed. Of course, it had to crash live, but thank you for sticking with me. I hope it doesn't crash again. I hope it's not a glitch in the actual file. Can you imagine if Age of Empires just released the patch while we were watching this game, the latest patch, and all of these other replays from the previous version patch no longer play? That would be hilarious. We would not be able to watch Game 5. That would be freaking hilarious. I hope that did not happen here. Yeah, exactly, Woo. That's what I thought. I said Berber camel archers, but exactly, Mr. Yo, he's microing them in a way that I don't think they're meant to be microed. These are still, like, remember, they still deal melee damage, right? So they're a ranged melee unit. You kind of have to treat them as such. And there's a hit and run is very good, but what's the attack speed on these guys? 2-second attack speed is not very fast. I mean, let's take a look at the Kipchak. 1.9. Okay, we're getting to the 1 hour mark. Yeah, exactly. They do have, it's not the proper way to play the Mamelukes. That being said, it seems like they are on the cusp of winning the game. I love watching the minimap, by the way, when I fast forward games. It reminds me of that scene from The Simpsons where Homer meets Bill Gates, and he takes them on the helicopter, and then Homer goes, "Oh, they look like ants from up here," and Bill Gates goes, "They are ants." That's what the minimap always looks like to me at fast forward. Although the fast forwarding is slowing down, I don't know why. I hope it's not a corrupt file or anything like that. In any event, if we can't play this file, we'll go on to game number 5. I'll see how long this game went. I'll reveal the length of the game. The presence of a game 5 suggests to me that Yo and Vivi win this one, but you never say never. Yeah, your mom. It's a long ass game, 1 hour and 20 minutes so far. Oh, he does like Spanish? That explains his playstyle. All these defensive... This is, by the way, why they can trade. Look at him preemptively placing these castles. Bunch of trade behind walls. I've seen Doyu, if that's how you pronounce that platform. I always found it a little confusing. There's a lot going on. There's, like, information streaming up top. Information streaming up at the bottom. But it is a very cool platform. Okay, we're approaching, guys. So what are we at? 4? I don't know why it's slowing down. Again, I hope that doesn't mean that the file is somehow corrupt or that we're not going to be able to see the end of the game. I mean, I hope the game lasts another hour and a half, to be honest. It's such a fun matchup, especially with gold units. Oh, he did get a Treb snipe here with his Mamelukes, then retreats. And this is why they can't trade, because look, it's completely open, and just these very few Hussars already getting 10 kills. 11, 12, 13. Okay, we're slowly approaching. Now it's, for some reason, down to 3.6. So he's under attack here via Mr. Yo, but Vivi, oh my god. I think Vivi so far, if I'm not mistaken, we'll take a look at the stats at the end of the game, but he must have the most kills in the game so far, right? I mean, he has been putting on non-stop aggression ever since Hera kind of divined that he would. Remember when Hera built the row of houses here? And built like a secondary wall off. Since then, Vivi has just been non-stop aggressive. But nice, we're almost 10 minutes away from where we were. Honestly, this is not a bad speed to watch the game either when it comes to military. A little bit too fast, but not the end of the world. Moving forward with his bonkers, crazy battering rams here. Yeah, I remember now Vivi, or Mr. Yo rather, signaling to Vivi that the Viper is on his flank, although Vivi not needing any kind of information, seeing as how there's a bunch of Hoofnitsas shelling down his castle. Vivi is MVP. Is he? He's a good... he plays Chinese as well. Now, who plays better? Vivi as Chinese or Huang as Celts? Because you guys will see in the next day or so, I'm going to put out a Huang game. My God. Oh, look, another...